I tried to cancel things out to fix it myself. It was getting worse. I tried to call over one of the people that worked there. With my mounting frustration at the machine.
So basically, I was thinking that maybe, and hear me out on this, maybe we could try not doing the wrong thing and instead maybe try doing the right thing this time.
Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. And it is raining outside. We're going to forecast it to hit in the mid-70s for temperatures, so not bad. It was hot yesterday, but then it cooled down pretty soon, so that was nice as well. I got to bed late. I forgot to take my Wellbutrin on time, and of course, these days I am getting wired as the night goes on. So it's after midnight when I get to bed, and then I wake up early from discomfort and pain. So I'm only getting like 3 hours of sleep a night, so joy on that. Still though, I am alive. That is a very good thing, and hopefully you're alive as well. And now, front loading of videos, I am so sorry, but hey, if you could hit the like button if you like what you hear and see, that'd be cool. And if you could hit the subscribe button if you like what you hear and see and you haven't subscribed yet. If you could leave me a comment, that would be double plus good. And of course, I'd like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons, these literally beautiful and literally awesome people who are, in fact, literally beautiful and literally awesome. Without their help, I would be hosed like a Christmas monkey. And trust me, being hosed like a Christmas monkey is no way to be hosed. If you would like to help me out and become a patron, there are links to the Patreon link in the video description. The bottom of my nose is really itchy. There's also links to a PayPal if you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron. There's also links to an Amazon wish list if you want to help me out without sending cash. And of course, there's a post office box if you'd like to send me anything from a postcard to a keychain to whatever you would like. That'd be awesome. I'll open or read things or show off the pictures on the postcard for everything I do. Thumbs up for that. Front loading of videos over. Oh boy, two things that are big, not really good. My kitty cat is really super thin, and she barely eats anything at all. She has not been eating the regular cat food, and so last night I bought tuna fish. She's licking up the juice and accidentally getting some solids with it, but that's about it. So she's almost 20. I mean, she's right around 18 years old, and that's on the older end for cats. So I don't know. She could come out of it. This also could be the end. I don't know. But on top of that, yesterday I wanted to go up to the library to get some stuff printed because I haven't been able to find those previous sheets that I had photocopied to play D100 Dungeon. I've been wanting to play, and I have not been able to get hold of... Let's see, I had the D100 books up here, and I can't remember where I've put them, so I'm going to have to locate them. Oh, there it is. There's some D100 books. But I went up to the library, and you can get $40 worth of printing done every single month. I printed $33 worth of tables and character sheets and all sorts of stuff. Now, on my way walking to the library, I started to feel weird, and I realize now, as I was walking up there, part of the weird feeling is I was having a physical weird feeling on top of the mental weird feeling. And I'll come back to that in a tiny bit. Because when I was in the library, I started to feel overwhelmed. And so I was staring at the printer or stuff like that just to keep focused there. I, with my ADHD, forget things. I have almost died several times from cellulitis, which is a skin infection that if you get it like on a leg, it will infect your entire leg. Swollen, red, painful to touch. You can't walk on it. If you don't take care of it, you're going to go septic and die. I've been in the hospital on IV antibiotics that close to whether or not I'm going to live or die because I've gone septic many, many times, probably about 10. Each time I have thought to myself, I am going to remember what it feels like so I don't get caught by surprise, so I don't have to end up like this. Each time I would forget what the symptoms are. Afterward, it would be, I wanted to remember this stuff, so I couldn't remember that. I used to have panic attacks pre-2000 and for a couple of years afterward, where it would feel like someone had dumped a bucket of ice water on my head. I would have about enough time to turn to a friend and say, well, person at work, and say, I am so very sorry. And then wham, I just knew I was going to fall down to the floor and die at any moment. And that would last for anywhere from half hour to an hour and some, and then it would be click, and I would just be going, oh my God, oh thank God it's over. I was getting a pretty bad anxiety attack building up while I was in the library. That weird feeling that I had walking up to the library, right now in context, I remembered that all this other stuff, yeah, there was a physical component, and I've never been able to figure out what, where there was just like a switch and it started turning on. Another thing that didn't help with the mental aspects of it is I don't do change a whole lot well. They've been doing remodeling on the library. On the library before, when you walked into the first floor, there were shelves of books everywhere. The walls were lined with bookshelves. They had the shelves everywhere. There were books. So they've done a whole remodel. And I walked in and it's a lot darker than it used to be, not as well lit. Part of that is because everything is done in very dark tile and dark stone. And there are a few shelves off on this side, and there's a couple shelves off on this side that have, well, some materials and some books. No shelves lining the walls. It used to be where the reference desk was, it was a moderately, a mid-sized area with a desk. Now you walk in and it's cavernous. 2 information desks are surrounded by a gigantic room-sized space. It is imposingly empty when you walk in. That wasn't helping. I like books and shelves of books, and subtractive change is not good for me. Adding things to my environment I can take quite well. Unplanned subtractions from my environment don't always work well with my aneurotypicality. So I was not doing well mentally with that. Afterward, I wanted to stop with all of this paperwork. I walked to Safeway because I wanted to get food for my kitty cat. If you suffer from anxiety, can you tell me if it's a good idea when you're going through an anxiety attack where you're feeling the anxiety ramping up, is it a good idea to enter during a busy part of a day a very loud, very cramped, very bright grocery store where you're surrounded by people and you can't handle people at that moment? It was bad. It was very bad. I grabbed my stuff and I went up to the self-checkout because I just couldn't handle people. And then the machine screwed up. My anxiety went from a steady climb like this to a brick wall. I tried to cancel things out to fix it myself. It was getting worse. I tried to call over one of the people that worked there. With my mounting frustration at the machine and the building anxiety where I had to get out, I wanted to tell the person, because it's self-checkout, I don't want my phone number and stuff in the machine with my food just left there because I have to leave. I don't know how I presented. It must not have been well. From a business side, when you're busy, when you're overwhelmed, when you've got someone who apparently is not acting normal, you have to do things like get them out of there. I tried to explain, I'm having a panic attack, I need to leave. I got like 2 sentences in, and again, I can't even remember what I was saying. If I was even saying it properly, I don't know what I was doing physically. I was trying to hold it together because I needed to get out of there. And it didn't help with the brick wall of my anxiety when I got 2 sentences in and she just started going, "Sir, you need to leave the store," in my face. Which, yeah, that helped. I tried to explain what was happening, a few sentences. She just kept with that yelling in my face, and it was like, I wanted to leave anyway. So I don't know what I said, how I acted, but it was, oh boy, it was a long time of walking and tromping around before I got my anxiety even halfway under control. Luckily for me, through the years, I've been able to determine that physical activity, walking, and trying to distract myself with distracting thoughts, never anything really deep or in-depth or anything like that, just stuff to break thoughts, and the tromping around to crawl, to press over the top of the bad physical feelings. I was finally able to get home. I was having mild anxiety for the next couple hours here. I had to keep getting up and pacing around the house, then I could come back for a time, then get back up and pace, and oh boy. Later that night, I had walked up to the post office, the library, stopped at Safeway, and then tromped around town and came back home. I still needed to get food for the kitty cat. I wanted to buy tuna, and I was out of cheese, so I walked up to Walmart for my 6-mile round trip, stopped off at Safeway again. I had a anxiety that was just purely mental because I didn't want to have another anxiety attack, so I was anxious about anxiety. But even though it was too light, too bright and too loud, I was able to get it done and leave without having anything more than just, boy, I'm anxious about whether or not I'm going to have an anxiety attack. But I didn't, and it was good. Came home, and part of it I understand. Life is frickin' overwhelming right now. I am amazed that I'm not anxious, mid-tier to high anxiety all the time. I mean, with my kitty cat, with my situation, there's a lot. So, joy on that. But then I do not know what triggers the physical part of it. And I felt the physical click as I was walking. So, that was my day yesterday. Yay. I didn't do much past that because I did my early stuff, did some falling asleep. Around noonish is when I started to get things together so I could go up to the library. And then from that point of my leaving the house, I planned on just going to the library, coming back, doing some recording. I couldn't record, not with that anxiety. So, thumbs up. Past that, though, I do have written down some stuff. The one thing that I'm going to talk about on the whole creative front with the characters, and again, I understand why listeners, watchers, readers have trouble empathizing with anti-hero types. I don't like a lot of anti-hero type characters in modern media. I don't like anti-hero types that will just end up killing and it doesn't bother them too much. I don't actually like that sort of thing. Killing, fictional killing, death is not an easy to shrug off thing. I mean, 8 years after it, I am still crushed by the death of my wife. Death is not funny. But at the same time, it's a part of exploring my own oncoming mortality. I have been exploring more and more that sort of thing, which is why I have the anti-hero type characters of the cryptids. I like the characters of like Polly and Jimmy. They are coming together in my head, and I'm liking them and Clausy and others as quote-unquote people. But again, I do understand it's hard to empathize with the attacker when you are on the defender side. If you are a gazelle, you're defending from the lions. Both of you have a right to live, but the lions are asserting their right to live by stripping away some of your right to live. Yeah, that's bad. That's frightening. That's scary. That's evil, isn't it? But on a survival level, if you can step out of this pool and look on it dispassionately, the gazelles and the lions both have a right to live. The gazelles aren't overbreeding and doing bad things. The lions aren't eating too many of the gazelles and taking them out. There is an equilibrium. There is roughly the same thing going on. They are not evil. In fact, there are very few cryptids that we would classify as evil. Even the ones that are like serial killers that kill, that find joy, pleasure, and beauty in that crystalline moment of human death. They're not doing it because they hate us. No, that's human death is beauty, pure and simple. It is just it requires no justification. It requires no excuses. It stands as beauty and art on its own. They don't hate us. We're a canvas that they're painting upon. And others, the very worst that most negative cryptids or even shadowed or light cryptids would feel is just slightly negative neutrality. They don't really feel anything hard about you. They just may go, they're not my favorite. And that's about all you feel. There are cryptids, because it is genetic, where it's, your mileage may vary. There are ill ones. They do hate. But that's such a small percentage, and they are not the norm. Even Polly, who's going to be eating about 48 people, every year, she doesn't hate people. In fact, the cryptids have two ways of referring to human beings. They refer to us as people, and they refer to us as human beings. If they have a name to you, like Polly's friends, those are people that she knows. Anybody that's a faceless random bit of livestock is just a human being, the food animal of the herd. They're not going to eat the named cattle because, that's a pet. And of course, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab. I have a lot of comments, so it's going to go longer. I went and posted on my community tab about my anxiety attack, because hokey smokes. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended, and even though I count in American Sign Language, well, insomnia and not getting much sleep at all. Let me call up my Chrome, because I'm still using that. What a fool I am. We have Jesse Koskinen. Ghost of Tsushima is a very, very good game. If you have a PS4 or you can get one cheap, I would get it. It is really good. You have to like Japanese history. You have to like both stealth and out-and-out bloody wild action, but it's worth it. It's good. There is IZ Cobra. Thank you very much. The Horror Files. And greatly appreciated and good to see you. We have Jerem and then a 0Y, Jeremy sort of, but spelled differently. Thumbs up and thank you. There's TieDude64. Thank you very, very much. AI Gujen. Thank you very, very much. Kiwi D. Thumbs up and thank you. Melissa R. Hey, it's been a while since I've seen you in the comments. Thank you very, very much. We have Bizarre Carmen. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. There is This one, I'm going to ruin it, but I'm going to try saying it. Bufandas de Papadas. Thank you very, very much. Zach Campbell, thank you. We have Jay. Oh, hokey smokes. Life is... Oh, life. There is... Jim... Well, I guess it would be Jim McNult. Thank you very, very much. ELE, greatly appreciated. Jordan Mel, thumbs up and thank you. Fucking Sam! Thank you very, very much. There is the truth. Boy, I wish I know what triggered it. Hokey smokes. Red047, greatly appreciated. Foggy Nights, thumbs up and thank you. There is Loco5, good to see you in the comments. And oi, Nando Rice Charuti, I can never say your name properly, but thank you. Carlos Rob, greatly appreciated. There is Caesar J, thumbs up and thank you. Tommy Copeland, greatly appreciated. I cannot pronounce this. DUCKIEU, thumbs up, thank you. There's Adrian FNTES, where it stands for Fallout and the Elder Scrolls, and not Fuentes, but I got the Adrian part right. There is Brandon Gomez, thumbs up, and then there is ZYZZS Legacy, and that's 20, and then 8, and then there is Kethul, something like that, and then we have, I thank Insignificant Nick, because Insignificant Nick, thank you. Ben B, thumbs up. Slow-mo nut kick, and to be honest, I'm not sure. Hopefully, maybe. And thank you very, very much. There were 32 people that left me comments yesterday on my community post about my anxiety and my video. Thank you, each and every one of you. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people. It is appreciated. Well, hokey smokes, it's a weekend and there's an American holiday, so I got 3 days of can't do much, so I'm going to take it easy as best I can. Hokey smokes. Hopefully you will be able to take it easy as well. Please, mental health is good. And of course, with the various diseases in the world, please be as safe as possible. You don't need to get sick or make other people sick. It's just, common courtesy for others and just, safety for yourself. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.